Very good morning to all of you. I extend a very warm welcome to all the keynote speaker and invited speakers and participants from all over the country for this national webinar on impact of COVID-19 on the university library system in India. That is today on 8th June 2020. I, on behalf of Karnataka University Librarians Association and Giridhar University Library Kalaburagi, I extend a very warm welcome to Professor J.P. Singh Jorel, the Director of Inflibnet Center, Gandhinagar. I also take this opportunity to welcome the invited speakers, Mr. Giridhar Kunkur, the librarian and Chief Publication and Media Relations Officer from BITS Pilani. I also take this opportunity to invite Dr. D.K. Veer, the Director of Knowledge Resource Center from Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar University, Marathwada, Aurangabad. I invite Dr. Mallikarjun Angadi, the librarian from National Institute of Technology, Surathkal. And I also take this opportunity to welcome the organizers, Dr. B.R. Radhakrishna, the Secretary of Karnataka University Librarians Association, and Dr. Ganapati Shinde, the librarian of Gulbarga University, and more importantly, the technical team involved in organizing this national webinar, Dr. Rahul Deshmukh, the librarian from Paranda, Mr. Chetan Taksale, the Director of Softech Solution, Pune, Dr. P.S. Katimani, the librarian from Central University of Karnataka, Dr. Subhash Reddy, from the librarian from PS University, and all my esteemed senior librarians and participants who are participating in this national webinar. I extend a very warm welcome on behalf of my Karnataka University Librarian Association and Gulbarga University. Ladies and gentlemen, we are living in this fascinating time of a change and a promise, wherein the information is considered to be the lifeblood of modern research. Without this information, there cannot be any development. And we, the librarians, have the passion of identifying, selecting, acquiring, maintaining, and disseminating information to the society. And in this connection, in the Karnataka state, we have established one professional association on par excellence. That's the Karnataka University Librarians Association. It's a very good old professional association established last 4 decades of now, with an objective to promote the image of librarianship, to protect the interest of library community, and strive for improving the skills of a library community by organizing various national workshops, conferences, peer meet, and now webinar. In Karnataka state, we have 28 state universities, 19 private universities, 11 deemed universities, 1 central university, and 11 National Institute of International Importance. All these universities and institutes of national importance are part of this Karnataka University Librarians Association. And according to Albert Einstein, education is not learning of a fact, but the training of a mind to think. And for this, the librarians are inevitable in the digital world to support the learning, teaching, and research activity among the institutions with its rich print and electronic resources by making use of innovative technologies in the library, even in this corona environment. And the another co-host of this webinar is Gulbarga University, which was established in 1980, located in the north part of Karnataka, offering 39 different courses in different subjects. And library is one of the modern and prominent learning resources on this campus with rich print and electronic resources. And in fact, Gulbarga University Library is a very active member of Inflibnet Center. And just for a kind information, this Gulbarga University has conducted a lot of Inflibnet regional training program, and Caliber 2006 was a grand success. And we have adopted the Research Information Management Database called IRINS, InFeed, Remote Access Facility, and DSpace Facility under the cloud environment from the Inflibnet Center. Besides this, the Gulbarga University Library is fully automated by making use of a Koha as an open source automation software. and the learning resource center called the Digital Library in this Gulbarga University, established with an entire and a complete state-of-the-art ICT facility, having around 100 computer systems with 3 main servers under network user and environment. And we have been adopting the RFID technology and also green library. See, my dear library professionals, the main objective of organizing this noble national webinar is to find out the answers to the questions that we normally face in this corona environment. See, the main objective is to understand how university library should function in this COVID environment to meet the academic and research needs of the community. To know what sort of precautions we the librarians should take care to avoid any infection of coronavirus, maybe from the perspective of a learning course material or from the perspective of a user community and a library staff. And also how the technology can be successfully implemented and adopted to provide various services to our user community who are in the remote places, maybe by using a remote access technology or a cloud-based services. And more importantly, the webinar aims to identify the best practices that are being carried out by the different universities and institutions at a national, international level, so that becomes a model for libraries in the country to adopt. To address all these issues, we have with us our dynamic Professor J.P. Singh Jorel, the Director of InfluBNet Center, and the 3 important invited resource persons, Dr. Mr. Giridhar Kunkurji, Dr. D.K. Ur, and Dr. Mallikarjun Angdi, who are going to provide solutions to all the questions that we are facing it. Before I call upon our Director of InfluBNet, I take the proud privilege of introducing Professor J.P. Singh Jorel, the Director of InfluBNet Center, to all of you. See, before joining this esteemed Institute of InfluBNet Center, Professor J.P. Singh Jorel was working as a professor of statistics in the University of Jammu, and he was also holding a post of Director of UGC Human Resource Development. And he has put up more than 32 years of a rich experience in teaching and learning. He has served earlier in reputed universities and colleges like Jammu University Jammu and Dr. Y.S. Paramar University of Horticulture and Forestry, Solan, Punjab University Chandigarh, Agra College, and also various government sectors in UP. Professor Jorel has guided 21 PhD students and MPhil students, and he has published more than 90 research papers at a national and international level. And he has been an invited speaker in almost all the academic venues, like maybe it may be concerned with any academic staff college or conferences, and also he's a visiting fellow at Sardar Patel University, Gujarat. Professor J.P. Singh Jorel has contributed to higher education institutions and their management. He served as a member of a council of the Premier Institute at Indian Statistical Institute and the governing bodies of several autonomous colleges, besides being a member of Planning and Monitoring Board of Universities and a member of Syndicate. Professor Jorel has contributed in attending the goals and objectives of the institution as a member and a chairman of various committees at a national and international level. And he has been a very active personality, and we are very fortunate. And in fact, he is the secretary and the vice president of Indian Society of Probability and Statistics. He visited almost all the foreign countries of the world, namely United States of America, Thailand, Taiwan, Malaysia, on various academic assignment. More importantly, I wish to say that Professor J.P. Singh Jorel, one of the unique features that we could notice in the recent days is he is a very simple person. His uniqueness lies in his simplicity, very approachable, very time conscious, and very innovative. Sir, we, the entire fraternity of library community around the country, are looking for your keynote address, and please deliver your keynote address for the benefit of our librarians in the India and also to the entire world. Sir, please, sir.
I am audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Very much, sir.
Yes, sir. Dear Dr. Suresh Jange, President, Karnataka University Librarians Association, Dr. B.R. Radhakrishnan, Secretary, Karnataka University Librarian Association, Dr. Mallikarjun Agadi, Librarian, NIT, Suratkom, Dr. Ganapati Sinde, Librarian from BITS Pilani, from Gulbarga University, Dr. Giridhar, Kunkur, Librarian from BITS Pilani, Dr. B. Director, KRC from Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, Marathwada University, Aurangabad. Other distinguished speakers, participants, good morning to all of you. सभी को नमस्कार, वंदन, अभिनंदन. First of all, I would like to congratulate Dr. Suresh Jange and his team on organizing 2 days webinar on impact of COVID-19 on university library system in India in collaboration with Gulbarga University Library. My humble regards, appreciations, and thanks for inviting me to speak the today's function. My special thanks to Dr. Suresh Jange. He himself, although he is young and a dynamic personality, he is doing a wonderful job at his university, and I am happy to know, I think day before yesterday, they have started that the remote access facility in their university. Although it is a little bit late, it should have been started somewhere, I think, in my opinion, in the month of April, but it's, I think, 1 month late, but no problem, I'm happy. So congratulations to Dr. Suresh Jange and his team for having this facility. I know my many friends are in the southern India, not in my subject statistics, but across the subject. And today I'm happy and I proudly can say that many friends in library science disciplines are my good friends from southern India. Friends, as we all know that the whole world in general and India in particular is fighting a war with COVID-19. And almost somewhere you can say that 75 days have been passed and the problem of this COVID is increasing day by day. But we are happy that India has effectively responded to this pandemic at multiple levels under the dynamic leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji. Himself is a great visionary and global leader. He, on the one hand, is leading from front in the war of COVID-19, and on the other hand, with all limited resources and huge population pressure, the government gradually is scaling up its policies without causing undue panic. The Honorable PM himself monitoring each and every sector which is directly affected the life of our fellow citizens. And one of the sector is education sector. As on today, more than 300 million students are getting education in universities, colleges, schools, and we all know that our educational institutions, along with other sectors, are also closed down due to the lockdown. Therefore, it was an immediate concern for the institutions to how to reach with our students during this lockdown period. Friends, as the theme of today's talk, or today's this webinar, is impact of COVID-19 on university library system in India. In fact, it's a good theme to have discussions and evolve, chalk out some strategies, especially on the 1-point agenda, that is how to reach the students community during this lockdown period. Friends, in the beginning, when this lockdown started, we were of the opinion that within a month's time or say 2 months' time, situation will become normal and all our education institutions will reopen and will start normal functioning. But the situation has changed now, and the immediate concern we felt at that time in the beginning that how to complete the pending syllabi. So everybody was busy, but as time passes out with no hope for the normalcy in the coming months, so it is high time for institutions, professionals, and especially library science professionals to think that how we can serve, how we can reach to our students, to our stakeholders with maximum teaching material, with maximum accessibility, affordability, so that each and every student from each and every corner of the country can have access of this material. Friends, proudly I can say that the library science professionals are taking a lead role during this period of time in providing whatever literature, whatever the material or the e-resources are available with them to their students. Generally, in the public, we say it is the lockdown, institutions are closed, employees are enjoying their holidays at home, but we have the correspondence and the communications with the librarians of the different institutions that how much they are taking pain. Even in the midnight, we are receiving the mails, queries from the librarians, library science professionals for upgrading their facilities in their institutions so that the students can be benefited. And at the same time, the team in FluidNet working 24/7 at this place, even facing the hardship due to the red zone, work from home, many constraints, but I'm happy and I'm giving my full appreciation to my team. That team is serving all the institutions, whether they are in the northeast, they are in the southern state, central part, or any part of India. I know the role of library science professionals in upgrading the existing services, because all you know, there is a huge diversity due to the geographical, economical, political factors in our education institutions. So the facility, the type of facilities which are available with IIT Delhi or IIT Bangalore or say BITS Pilani, that in the private sector, ISER cannot have such a type of facilities in institutions located in the far-flung and remote areas of our country. But even then, it is our duty to provide the resources, e-contents to all the institutions. And even then, I know In spite of having the financial crunch, and even today, because I know there are plus points also, negative points also to webinars. Whatever I am saying here, it is a live telecast on YouTube, but it's on record. I can say that I personally observe that many places my library science professionals are eager to upgrade the facility in their institutions, but the persons sitting on the helm of the affairs are not paying due weightage or providing good financial assistance to the institutions, that is to the libraries, so that they can upgrade their existing system. They can also have all the automation process. Even I can say that here, I know in many institutions, more than 50% post of LIS professionals are lying vacant. But in spite of all these factors, you all people are taking pain for upgrading the existing facilities. Now, whether it is the question of we have the advanced technology, or the question of storing the large documents due to the growth, or converting the text in the short form, or the question of the converting the soft form information in the form of a particular type, so that that can easily be disseminated with the viewers or students. In all the fields, our library science professionals are working very hard. Now, friends, every that such type of this pandemic situation provide or significant two that is types of situations. One, we may take it in the negative sense and sit home and wait for the normalcy. Normalcy will come, we'll back to our institutions and serve the system. Now, second, in the opportunity, we must accept it is a challenge, or you can say it is an opportunity we have given, which is given to us, that we must accept this challenge and come forward with some solutions, not maybe I say unique for whole India, but need-based, area-specific solutions, because ultimately we'll have to serve the society. Society means our students who cannot stay home for longer period of time. So, my special emphasis and desire from the LIS professionals, and one more thing, when I'm talking the LIS professionals, means Team Infonet is standing with you on any issue related to technology development. So my special emphasis on for the LIS professionals to come forward in taking a lead in your institutions by motivating the faculty members, by training the faculty members that they must develop the e-content as per the need course based of their institutions, so that the students can be benefited. Now, second question arises here. One can ask you, when already the e-contents are available at the different platforms like Swayam Prabha, MOOCs, then what is the need of development of our own courses, e-contents? So as you know, that there is a limit from the MOOCs, that is 20% of the maximum. Nowadays UGC, I think, thinking or I think recommended that the up to the 40% credit can be transferred through MOOCs. But due to the, again I had already discussed, due to the diversity, the course curriculum is also not uniform at the different institutions. And if 20%, 30% is there, whatever remaining 70 to 80%, so we must develop e-content. Now, second, we also train, first we must develop, that is the any say LMS learning management system. One can take the help from the Moodle. Moodle is a free open source software. So whatever the e-content developed by the faculty members, that can be hosted on the learning management system, or you can say the portal, where the students can have the access, because on that LMS it is two-way, that is the communication, that the student can interact with their teachers. As in the available e-contents, there's only one-way communication is there, that the students can learn, see, listen only. But on the LMS, it is two-way communication. Teacher can upload his or her notes, any material, can take assignment test. The student can ask their difficulties, their queries, teacher can reply. So in this way, I request my LIS professionals that you take a lead your institution, ask your faculty members, come forward for both the development as well as the LMS. And on this front, Influence Center would be happy to work with you. Here we have customized, by modifying the Moodle, we customize this LMS Moodle open source software, and we named it ILMS, Influence Learning Management System. Now there are two plus points of this LMS, ILMS. One, it is a two-way communication Second, we have already, that is the pre-populated courses on this LMS from EPG Pathshala as per the need of a particular university. This facility we have developed, tested, demonstrated, and it is successfully running at Central University of Haryana, and 12 more universities in the pipeline. All materials, course material have been uploaded as per their requirement. So it is a good feature. So I request my all the LIS professionals that you ask your faculty members, take your hand, take our hand, take jointly help, so that the students can be benefited. One more thing I will tell you here. We all know there are till now the two mode of education, either the regular mode of education or ODL, open distance learning, right? But nowadays, the third mode also, that the government has, UGC and MHRD both, has already allowed some around 20-30 universities to go for the online courses. Online course means complete online degree. And again, I think government in the process to grant permission to 100 more institutions for offering online courses. So whether it is online courses or MOOCs or SWAYAM, we must have the e-content, right? So take this lead. Other thing also, I would urge and request you, that is, all of you know, that is the remote access facility, or we have here that is the INFED. So we have that is the federation, and we are trying our best, and we approaching the institutions to come forward, join us, and it's a fantastic service, free of cost. If a particular institution will go their own by having some private partner in the remote access, they will pay annually, I think, 2 to 3 lakh rupees per annum on the basis of their size of the institution or libraries. But here is totally 100% free. And again, I'm happy that during this pandemic situation, a large number of institutions have taken this facility. If I share the names of the institutions, like say IIT Delhi, I'm proudly saying IIT Delhi, IIT Guwahati, Banaras University, many premium institutions, also one of the premium institutes of the country, IISc Bangalore, using this facility. So come forward, join us, serve the country, save the resources, because we are not charging anything. The amount you will save from an institution, that you can incur on some other activity of the development of library. Other things are also there, that is the, you can try, because everything nowadays that is in the the Google, you can say, but the proper use, how to find out which one is good or which one is not good, that only can LIS professor can decide and find out. Because I'm linking that again with the LMS. Once you are able to place the LMS for institution, then you can search any material which is available in the open source, which is directly or indirectly or up to 30%, 40%, that link to your existing syllabi, you can post at your LMS. One more thing I will share, because you all are experts in your field as well as in the technology also. Sometimes we say government is not taking initiative, but I know other thing, if we fight, we take lead, we approach monthly basis, quarterly basis, I'm sure that government will definitely think. And the thing is that you must, in the phase manner, in the first phase, you must have the institutional repository in each and every college and each and every university. That in the first phase. So whatever material available in the college, in the university, which is free from the copyright, that can be hosted on that institutional repository. In the second phase, I'm talking about the state only. In the second phase, all the institutions in that state can be networked together. So whatever material available at University of Bangalore, that can be easily accessed by the students sitting at Giridhar University in Kalburgi area, or say another university, say in the far-flung of the Karnataka, there is a Coimbatore University. From I hear the Coimbatore University, again that is the somewhere I think started in the near to Gulbarga University. At the same time, I think so. But I'm happy to note the progress of the Coimbatore University. Fantastic university, all in the closed forest. But as far as the ranking is concerned, that is gaining year by year. A good sign. So you all take lead in your states, that you first have the institutional repository in your institutions, and then have the interlink them for the better utilization. So with these words, I hope all of you will take a lead role in the coming days, not only in your institutions, but in your area, in your state, and then at level of the country. And from here, we are ready to serve you 24/7 on any issue, on any matter. Either you give me a call, drop me a mail, either to me or to my any scientist. I'm sure my scientists, my team are doing a wonderful job, and they are with you in each and every aspect. My best wishes to Karnataka University Library Association all the LIS professionals with the hope that all of you will work hard in tandem, not in isolation, for accepting this challenge and serving the country. Recently, whatever I'm sharing this. Just recently, our Honorable PM advised, requested, appealed for Atmanirbhar Bharat. It is all are the factors or parameters only for Atmanirbhar Bharat, because it is the high time to make ourselves ready to serve our students' community when we are sitting at home. Thank you, and my all the best wishes to you, all the participants, and the association. Thank you.
Sir, thank you very much, sir. We are really enlightened with your thought-provoking keynote address. And we have taken a note of all the initiatives which the university library is supposed to take. And we assure you on behalf of the entire Karnataka University Librarian Association in particular and universities in India that we will try our level best to implement the various implement services that have been rendering, especially the one which I have said is like learning management system or a DSpace or a in-field remote services. So we will ensure that we will take initiative, and with your support, definitely we will make a best use of your services and see that the university and the college libraries reach to a higher height to enlighten the society with a lot of information. So with this note, I once again thank you very much, sir, for sparing your valuable time in spite of your busy schedule. And I wanted to tell you very specifically that your staff are wonderful. They have been very supportive. And whenever we sent an email, they immediately reply to us. This shows that the leadership ability of you, your directorship, and also the staff. And we definitely will make use of all the services to see that our library community are enlightened and reach to at a higher height. And we, the librarians, are no less than any profession, and we are going to rule the world with information and knowledge to enlighten the society and see that the dream of a real building a knowledge society will be achieved with the help of librarians, that too with your support, with the support of your team. Thank you very much, sir. Now, let us make a move on to the, yes, sir, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
One more thing I'd like to tell you, to all the LIS professionals, whether they are the participants or they are the distinguished speakers here, on any theme or any problem you would like to conduct training to your faculty members, to your students, we are ready. Okay. You can approach us. You can organize on any time, but only request is that will limit it to your institution also, because nowadays we hear that I organize a webinar and participants are registered more than 5,000. So somewhere we need seriousness also.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So if you want to organize some training program for your institution, only for your institution faculty members, one day,
sure, sir,
we'll happy to organize. And after this lockdown period, when things become normal, even then if you want to organize in physical mode, we'll organize at your doorstep. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot. And now we will make a move to another renowned scientist, the library scientist, Mr. Giridhar Kunkur, who is going to give the first invited talk. Before I commence, I wish to take this privilege of introducing my guru and a model of librarian, Mr. Giridhar Kunkur. Presently, sir is working as a librarian at Birla Institute of Technology and Science at Pilani, and he has put up more than 39 years of a rich experience offering very modern and very sophisticated services to the library community. He is known for effectively transforming the BITS Pilani Library, and he also held the position of Chief of Publications and Media Relation Unit in the Institute. Under his able leadership, the BITS Pilani Library could achieve and receive the Village Digitally Transformed Academic Library 2019 award under a non-government category by the Vile publisher. So congratulations for that under your able leadership. So prior to this, Mr. Kunkur was heading a learning resource center at Wellington Institute of Management Development and Research at Mumbai, where he was instrumental in revamping and redesigning the entire library system there. And for 24 years, Mr. Kunkur worked at a British Library in various capacities in different parts of the country and the world. He so successfully served as a head Library Information Services West India British Council Mumbai, which was a busiest among the various British Council libraries in the world. As a regional head, he was responsible for effective functioning of a British library system, and he served in different parts of India. He also worked as a manager of the British Library Bhopal for nearly 7 years. Mr. Kunkur has published many papers and delivered very invited talks at national and international conferences. He has visited almost all parts of different parts of the world on academic assignment, namely United States of America, UK, Germany, France, and whatnot. So if I continue, it will go on. I know that we are all waiting for the best practices that have been practiced in the BITS Pilani Library, which will serve to the college and universities in India, will be educated by Mr. Giridhar Kunkur. Sir, now I take a leave, and please, we look forward to your lecture, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. I hope I'm audible to all of you.
Yes, sir, very much.
All right. First of all, at the very outset, I would like to thank Dr. Suresh Jange, the president of Karnataka University Librarians Association, for giving me this opportunity to share my thoughts during this webinar on the best practices adopted by BITS Pilani Library during this COVID-19 lockdown. I will be sharing this. Are you able to see this? The presentation? No. Just 1 second. I will be sharing this presentation with all of you. Okay. Are you able to see this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Just to tell you, I am also a product of Karnataka University Department of Library Science, and I feel extremely happy and proud to be associated with all of you during this webinar. Friends, as you all would know, COVID-19 pandemic has impacted 90% of the world's student population, including the teaching and non-teaching staff, as all educational institutions, universities, colleges, and schools having been shut down during this extraordinary lockdown. And this situation indeed has resulted in a transition to distance education on an unprecedented scale. And the educational institutions all over the world are, racing to shift their courses online. And the students are, engaging with e-books, e-journals, e-resources, and things like that. And the research scholars are also extremely dependent now on electronic journals and e-resources. The good thing is that the libraries and publishers have risen to the occasion by offering more and more digital content free of cost, and also providing access to various contents available with them. Undoubtedly, there is a surge in the use of high quality e-resources, and the COVID-19 crisis has made the librarians to be more proactive in their approach, and the digital libraries also have demonstrated their potential, not just to enable a richer and more diverse public domain, but also contributed significantly in human development. And at the same time, as the level at which the digital libraries are being exploited by the people across the world has resulted in a kind of a situation like a habit for the people, and they are now only depending on online resources for their education, for their research and academic related activities. So definitely the e-libraries will grow exponentially as a result of this COVID-19 situation. So with this preamble, I would like to tell you exactly what we have done at BITS Pilani Library during this lockdown, the initiatives that are taken by us. We observed an information outbreak within a week after the students left our campus on 17th of March. We were inundated with lots of requests from our faculty members, research scholars, and students requesting us to make available all our databases and e-resources, remotely available to them. And also we started receiving umpteen number of requests for full text articles and things like that. So the library was very quick to respond to this situation, and it took many initiatives to ensure that the BITS community is not inconvenienced. And to tell you frankly, about 3 months ago, we did not have a remote access to our resources, and that was the problem. And to address that, we started liaising with the prominent publishers and service providers, and and we requested them to provide remote access to our subscribed resources, which resulted in a way kind of seamless access to our subscribed content from these publishers and service providers. So in addition to this, the library professional team working from their home downloaded more than 500 full text articles, books, book chapters, and from various databases for which we could not provide remote access, and we sent these downloaded items to all the requesters. And also we prepared a master list of carefully chosen 1700 ebooks that we had purchased on a perpetual basis from the leading publishers, and we made an Excel sheet by providing the link to these ebooks, and we uploaded that on Google Drive, and we communicated to all our students and research scholars requesting them to access these books online. And this indeed helped many users to explore these ebooks which were recommended for their courses. We also undertook a lot of plagiarism checking, and over 100 documents were checked for their plagiarism, and we sent the reports to the requesters. And just like perhaps you all must have received from your students, we started receiving lots of requests initially in the first few weeks when they left the campus to renew the books and things like that. So we took the decision of unilaterally renewing all the books that they had borrowed till 28th of June as of now, and we are not charging any fine. And nearly 60 new theses were uploaded on Shodhaganga platform. So our top priority was indeed to provide remote access platform for all our resources during this lockdown period. As you all would know, most of the publishers use IP filtering as a standard for authenticating authorized users and providing access to e-resources. So this makes users to access e-resources only when they are in the campus. institute campus. So ideally, an user should be able to access e-resources irrespective of his or her, the physical location at any time. In order to overcome this difficulty, the InflibNet Access Management Federation, that is INFED, has adopted Shibboleth, a standard-based open source software for authenticating authorized users from institutions and provide them seamless access to e-resources from anywhere, anytime, 24/7. This is what Professor Jurel just now mentioned in his keynote address. And we, in collaboration with InflibNet, we successfully installed Shibboleth remote access platform. And as a result of this, we have been able to make available 24 online databases, including ebooks, bibliographic and citation databases, such as Scopus, SciFinder, Web of Science, including Discovery Tool. What you see here on the right-hand side is the Shibboleth platform that we have provided, where you can see all the resources that are being made available. And at the same time, there is so much of literature available on COVID-19 provided free of cost by the various international publishers, and that is also made available here. So it was indeed a very nice experience working with InflibNet team in making this happen. Sir, I'm referring to particularly Professor Jurel. Thank you very much for you and your team for making this happen. And another thing that we worked during this lockdown was that, we worked on a system to map the digital content of the library, covering various databases and peer-reviewed articles from reputed international journals. We subscribe to 34 online databases through which we have access to nearly 59,000 international journals. So you can imagine the amount of literature that is available, covering the entire gamut of science, engineering, humanities, social science, etc. So we wanted to map this digital content to the courses taught by the faculty members at BITS Pilani, as well as map this content to the research areas of our research scholars as well as faculty members. So the objective is to make available a maximum of 10 articles which are latest, peer-reviewed and full text relevant to their classroom teaching or research areas in the form of alerts on a weekly or a monthly basis as per their choice, as per the requester's choice. To achieve this, we proposed an idea of setting up teaching and research aids alert service for our faculty and research scholars with the EBSCO team using their Discovery Tool platform. So we at the library had a number of brainstorming session with the EBSCO team to make them understand what we needed and our requirements, and came up with a solution. And it had to be a very simple process where a library administrator could easily set up to 5 alerts for a single user at a time and in one single email. So a custom app was proposed to build to be built for this particular purpose that would meet all the requirements of the library. A dedicated library team has been identified, which will be responsible for setting up the alerts for the end users. Now, the admin user interface, what I'm showing on the right-hand side just now, is a very simple form where the name, email, and the logo of the institute can be uploaded there with a personalized alert header. Say, for example, if I'm sending an alert to Professor Smita Raghuvanshi, the header will say Teaching Aids Alert Service for Professor Smita Raghuvanshi, so that Professor Smita will feel it is personalized to her needs, and they feel very connected with it. So as the app development progressed, several other features like controlling the frequency, whether it is weekly or monthly, we are looking at even fortnightly, and also the duration. When we talk about the duration, whether they want the alerts for 2 months, 3 months, 4 to 5 months, or 6 months, that can be set here. And also the email of the person who is creating the alert from the admin side. So the faculty members and research scholars, they are expected to send us 5 keywords related to their teaching and research areas. And this is the query form. What happens is, in the query form, the keywords submitted by the faculty members can be entered here. You can see here there are 5 options where we enter their pinpointed keywords. And in order to the queries got to be very specific to improve the quality of relevancy of the articles that they receive. So therefore, we need to enter the limiters such as full text only, English only, and peer reviewed only, and latest only articles can be set here under the limiter field. And then to make it even more specific, by indicating the source type, such as the journals in a particular discipline or magazines in a particular discipline can also be included under the facets field here. Okay, so a review section was also added to preview or review or remove the previously set alerts. What you see here on the right hand side is just a screenshot of the faculty members who have requested for this particular service, and and we can actually preview. In the preview section, actually, I can see all the panelists who are coming here, so that is hidden now. Anyway, when you click the preview, what happens is the faculty members, when they get the email as a part of their alert, is seen there. Like Professor Vivek Tiwari, it says hello, Professor Vivek Tiwari, your weekly library email alerts. Click on the links below to view the latest articles from your interest areas. So these are the 5 keywords that he has given us and for which we have created the alert. So if Professor Tiwari wants to see the alerts in the area of phase change, so he will click there, and these are the alerts which are actually 10 alerts he gets in that particular area. You can see here research aids alert service for Vivek Tiwari, and the latest articles from phase change. So it gives bibliographic details and abstracts and of all the 10 articles here. And if any article that the faculty member is keen on, they will click at read more, and when they click at the read more, they will get the full text. Okay, so that is the purpose of this this alert service. And this alert service indeed has added a lot of value to their academic and research work, and at the same time it will certainly put the library resources to the optimum use. And it is indeed a kind of return on investment for us. And EBSCO team will continue to maintain and update the application as required. And also the usage of this service can be tracked and reports can be generated to measure the effectiveness of this service. So going ahead, we are looking at the prospects of refining this service even more further, so that the end user gets absolutely very pinpointed information for their teaching or research related areas. Okay, see, another area that we worked during the lockdown is on BITS Pilani Heritage Gallery. This gallery is for showcasing how BITS Pilani has evolved right from its school days, that is Pathashala days in 1901, to the present status of Institute of Eminence. What had happened was, when I joined this institute about 6 years ago, I could find a lot of old photographs which were kept in a carton box along with other associated literature. They were lying loose and catching dust in one obscure corner of the library. When I saw the photographs, they actually belonged to very prominent national leaders before independence, like Mahatma Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru, Vallabhbhai Patel, Rajendra Prasad, Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, so on and so forth. All these people actually had visited Pilani because of their close association with Shri G.D. Birla, who was the founder of BITS Pilani. So actually these photographs and literature, they needed to be chronologically organized, revived, digitized, reprinted, framed and displayed with a storyline covering all the 4 campuses of BITS Pilani. So we started working very hard on this particular area for some time now, but it happened, I mean, even during the COVID, it is, we are working on it. I'm taking a tour of this particular gallery that we have set up. As you can see here, it's a Pilani campus. All the photographs are, neatly put up over there. And there is a storyline that is going on in, in black and white. The white text has been engraved on the black, acrylic sheet. And to make the content more authentic and interesting, we got it edited by the chief editor of Reader's Digest. So I will take you to different corners of this gallery, as you can see here, different sections of the gallery. These are actually Birla College magazine right from 1929, and these were loose issues line, and we got them neatly bound and arranged them, and they talk about a lot of story associated with BITS Pilani. So it is adding a lot of value for the institute in general. Okay, and also when the important visitors come, it is the best place to showcase what how BITS Pilani has evolved over the period of time. This is Hyderabad campus and Goa campus, you can see, and you can also see Dubai campus here, things like that. Coming up to the mezzanine floor, currently we are working during this lockdown period. We are working on the panels to be put up on the mezzanine floor about the students' activities and social engagement of BITS Pilani. You can see here the catalog cabinet, which is kept as a coffee table here. To showcase how once upon a time the library catalogs were for the younger generation, because they don't know how catalog cabinets were there in the library. And on the top of the table, you can see the first book ever purchased by the BITS Pilani with accession number 1 is also put up on the display here. So we are trying to make this space as interesting as possible. And the work is still in progress, and maybe in just few months time it will be inaugurated. Another area that we are currently working is on the creation of ideation zone and multimedia studio during this lockdown period. And this ideation zone, where students are encouraged to form creative ideas and work towards the crystallization of these ideas through sketching, prototyping, brainstorming, brainwriting, and using other ideation techniques. And here students can undertake many design thinking projects. The aim is to achieve students' engagement in generating most practical and innovative ideas, which culminate into better design solutions and strategies to develop new products. And this is going to be located very next to Innovation Zone and Makerspace, which is adjoining this ideation zone. So complementing each other, and there will be a big synergy between all these spaces in the time to come in the library, and will become a very happening place. We also looked at engaging QR code technology in the wake of COVID-19 situation. As you all would know, QR codes are one of the humankind's brilliant inventions. And the coronavirus pandemic has taught people to use QR codes in the new and broader ways. This presents indeed a very wonderful opportunity for all of us as librarians to engage QR code technology in our libraries. And with QR codes, we can also create posters not only to keep our members safe, but also to promote library services and resources. I will show you some of the examples. Here, this is a poster to talk about, suppose, when our students return, say in August or, September, whenever they return, we certainly do not want them to go to the shelves to pick up the books for some time. So we want the entire transaction to be handled by the library staff, whereas the students can give their request using a particular platform. So when they scan this QR code, they will get that platform. What this platform is actually it is a opaque platform. I will tell you later in my presentation how it actually works. Another example is, in whichever libraries we are all working, one of the most important area in the library is the washroom. We must absolutely make sure that our washrooms are absolutely, maintained very well with high quality of hygiene in our mind. So this is a poster that talks about help us keep the washroom clean. And if students find something amiss in the the washroom, they can scan the QR code here and they can submit their complaint. When they scan the QR code, they will get a Google form on their mobile. So they can put their email address and they talk about the location of the bathroom, whether it is a ladies toilet or gents toilet, or is it on the first floor or ground floor, wherever it is. And they can indicate the issues associated with the bathrooms or the washrooms, like the floor is not clean, there is a blockage of urinal, bad smell, flush is not working, dispenser to be filled, etc., etc. They can tick and they can actually submit this, and we can monitor during many times during the day and inform our housekeeping staff to maintain the washrooms accordingly. So this is what we thought we should do, and also to engage our users, particularly the students, with ebooks. We thought we will come out with a QR code. When they scan the QR code, they will get a complete list of all the ebooks on their mobile, and which they can start reading, downloading, and things like that. Another thing could be like, if they want to have a quick access to the articles, why we are coming out with these posters is, as much as possible, we do not want students to use the computers that are available in the library to access either opaque or the online databases, or to work on any of their projects. So because every time they use a computer, we need to sanitize the keyboard, we need to sanitize the mouse and things like that. So we want them to use their own gadgets. When they scan this, they will get the same the applications on their mobile quickly, and they can use it. So this is about quickly accessing the articles, where when they scan this, they will get the discovery tool on their mobile phone, and they can download the articles from there. So this is what we have done. And talking about the post-lockdown library operation, perhaps you are all must be working your strategies in your respective libraries, how to handle. So we also, in our case, what happens is most probably the students will return to the campus only in the month of August or September, depending upon the situation then. And we will, of course, follow a very strict guidelines in handling the library operation. So very recently, to come out with certain procedures to handle library during the lockdown period, post-lockdown period, we had a Google Meet with all the library staff from our Dubai, Goa, and Hyderabad campus. And we came out with quite a few suggestions which could be engaged in all our libraries as a standard thing. So something that I would like to share with you is, yes, we want to consult the medical officers and doctors in our campus for any kind of suggestions, precautions that needs to be taken before allowing the students inside the library. So we will discuss with them and we will adopt those suggested procedures to be followed in the library. Initially, the opening hours of the library will, of course, be from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And students will be asked to return books only after 1 week of their return to the campus. Until then, the books will remain with them in their rooms. And we have identified a quarantine place for the books in the lobby, where low height shelves will be placed to stack these returned books. And the users are expected to return the books using self-issue, self-return kiosk on their own. and keep the books in the quarantine place, which is identified, which is just behind the kiosk. The returned books will remain there for a minimum period of 24 hours, and during that time they will be sanitized before taking them out for shelving. And we strongly feel that the books should be handled very carefully, and to be on the safer side, at least for a few months. When students return, they will not be allowed to go to the shelves to pick up their books. This is what I was talking about, that poster earlier. And what we are planning to do is we will ask them to send their request for the books that they wish to borrow to the library staff through library OPAC, Koha OPAC. Now, how does it work? What we have done is with the help of Mr. Amit in Informatics India Limited, we have created a new feature on the OPAC to send requests to borrow books. So, for example, if a student is interested in borrowing Principles of Industrial Organization by D.S. Kimball, this is as you are all familiar with the Koha catalog, it gives all the details below here, and under status below here there is a availability, and you can see that there is a request online item. So they need to click. This is the new feature in the Koha. Okay, so they need to click this request online item. When they click, what happens is they will get their page to enter their user ID and password, so that they can confirm their request, and it becomes registered in their account. So once they log in, they will get this thing here, and it is hidden here, that area, because of the panelists it is hidden. So they need to confirm. There is a confirm link here, there is a confirm tab, and they need to click that. When they click the confirm link, an automated mail will go to the requested user email ID about the book requested. So this is the mail that they will receive. Dear Mr. So-and-so, we have received your request to borrow the following book. The details of the book appears here, and the library staff will pull out this book from the shelf and will be kept in the information desk in less than 2 days' time. So you will receive a mail to collect this book again from the libraries very soon, and on the receipt of the mail, you must collect the book on the same day or at the most the next day. And for uncollected books, there will be a fine of 5 rupees per book. This is what we are contemplating with the idea currently. It is not a firm decision, but why are we adding this 5 rupees fine component? Is there is a lot of hard work that the library staff will go through to pick up the books from the shelves and keep them in information desk. And if books are not picked up by the students, then it's a wasted effort. So in order to avoid that kind of a situation, when we impose certain amount of fee like this, the students become more serious, and they will be coming here running to borrow their requested books. And all users of the library are expected to wash their hands and use sanitizer before entering the library, and that is a compulsory for everyone. And if any user is sick and perhaps not well, then the security person will not allow them to enter the library even to issue or return books. Users will be strictly monitored, guided by the security staff, and no user will be entering without a mask. And the security guard will check the number of users already there inside the library and allow only if stipulated seats are available for the user. What we have done is we have decided that we have long tables in the library in the reading rooms, and every table will have just 2 tables on opposite corners, so that there is a social distancing that is maintained. So the rest of the chairs will be removed from the halls and they will be stacked elsewhere. At least for 2 weeks, all the reading rooms in the library will not be available for the users when they return to the campus. Okay, So they can just come here for doing certain amount of transaction to issue, borrow, and things like that. But we will not immediately allow them to use the reading rooms immediately. Besides wearing the masks, the staff handling the books will be provided with hand gloves and the face shield. We will be procuring them very soon. And also, sanitization of the keyboard, mouse will be done every time a student uses a computer. The users can bring their own water bottles instead of filling the water from the common RO water tap. We shall be producing floor signage to maintain the social distancing when they use the self-issue, self-return kiosk, or wherever there is a queue that is going to be formed, say for example in textbook counter or information desk. We want to keep at least the few floor signage to asking them to maintain the social distancing. And indeed, we are looking at prospects of getting them locally printed with self-adhesive, so that we can save on the cost, and we may require such stickers more even outside also the library for a longer time. It depends upon the situation, but we are keeping ourselves prepared for COVID-19 situation already in the library. So thank you very much for your kind patience. I hope I was able to meet what you thought you should know, what we have done during this COVID-19 situation. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Thank you very much, Dr. Suresh Jange, for this opportunity.
Sir, thank you very much, sir. We wish every library should become like a BITS Pilani Library. We wish. In fact, it is not only the infrastructure, because normally we think, we don't have that infrastructure or this one. It is not only the infrastructure that matters a lot. What matters is it's a passion. See, we all talk of best practices, but the BITS Pilani really has implemented best practices. See, the question is not talking about best practices, but how much each and every librarian in India is really adopting those best practices. That matters a lot. And बड़े बातें वड़ा पाव खाते बोलते क्या करते हैं, बोलते ज्यादा है मगर करने का बहुत कम रहते हैं. Sir, we are really impressed by the way the best practices that are being adopted in your library, which sets a model to all the libraries in the country. So I think we are all today very fortunate to have you here as an invited speaker, and really we are blessed with you and also the Director Implement Center. Sir, thank you very much, sir. Now we will make a move on to the next invited speaker, one of the most prominent and very knowledgeable and highly skilled librarian from Maharashtra. Whenever we talk about Maharashtra, librarianship in Maharashtra means the one name that comes to our mind is Dr. Dharam Veer. Okay, that's called the DK, short form is DK Veer. Sir, Dr. DK Veer, Director of a Knowledge Resource Center from Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar Maratha University, Aurangabad, and he has put up more than 28 years of rich experience in the field of library science. He has published 16 books, and more than 110 research articles are to his credit, and he has guided more than 8 PhD students, and 26 MPhil have already been successfully conducted, got awarded, and he has received the many awards. So just to name a few, he is a recipient of like UGC Teacher Fellowship Award, and he has received a Best Librarian Award from Karnataka SC Library Association. And there are so many other things to tell about Dr. Veer, because in Maharashtra, he has set a model. Because as a central university, if we have visited, whenever you come across, kindly make a visit to the central library of Dr. Dharam Veer, you will find that the best part of the technology, the best part of innovation has been carried out in the library of BAMU. Sir, I take this opportunity to invite you to deliver your invited talk. Sir, kindly unmute.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Thank you very much, Suresh Jangeji, and his complete team, including Ganpati Sinde and all Angadi Jangeji, Sindeji, Kunkur. Just I have watched seriously the presentation of Kunkur Giridhar, IIT BITS Pilani. I really appreciate to that BITS Pilani library because he has implemented a lot of things. He has used a lot of IT tools and techniques in the field of IT as such, especially which we, the university library professionals, should have to implement such a type of tools and techniques in each and every university library system in India. Friends, just I want to share my opinions, especially post-COVID libraries, because Karnataka University Library Association really appreciate his efforts, especially for organizing this beautiful event, because which will be helpful to the all university library professionals in India. And therefore, I once again congratulate to the team of Dr. Suresh Jangeji. Just I want to talk on the post-COVID libraries and especially this is my talk. This is oral talk. I'm not sharing any PPT and something. Okay. Just I want to share my views, especially on the university library systems in India. If you see the All India Higher Education Surveys report, it shows that thousands plus universities are there in India. Out of that, 357 universities are located in rural area. This is the fact of Indian higher educational scenario. And second thing is, out of 40,000 plus colleges are there in India, around 60.48% colleges are located in rural area. That means if you see the, especially for Uttar Pradesh is on rank first, especially for colleges. However, Maharashtra is on second rank because 4,300 plus colleges are there. That means 33 colleges per lakh population is the current scenario about the Maharashtra. However, Karnataka is on third rank and 51 colleges per lakh populations are there as per that report of Government of India. That means we should have to concentrate on post-COVID libraries. If you see the current scenario about this higher education systems in India, then I want to focus on only three things or three models. First model is physical mode. In physical mode, if you see considering the impact of COVID-19 on community or all sectors in India, including the education, especially on library itself, can we survive the university library system in India, especially in physical mode? What about users? It may be a students, it may be a research scholars or the faculty members. Maybe increase or decrease. Definitely it will be reduced in such type of critical situation. What about the space of library? It is necessary to keep suitable physical distance as per the guidelines. Then we should have to concentrate on the space of library will be multiplied or necessary to increase the space of library. But is it possible to increase the space of library as such in current scenario in India? If you see, we should have to concentrate on physical layout of each and every sections of library. It may be for reading room, it may be for internet library, it may be for administrative setup. That means if now we are having the 500 student intake capacity, can we multiply as per the situation, as per the physical distancing, and how we will require the required space, for seating capacity, especially for students. And second thing, what about the cleanliness? What is the current situation of university libraries in India? Because dirtiness is not new to us. Situation of library, especially in current scenario, especially about cleanliness, it is the most essential part as considered COVID-19. And dirtiness is not new to us. How library will keep neat and clean regularly, because this is a very important issue, especially a library system. And if you see, what about the physical importance of library? How many users will come to library to access the library as a physical, especially for physical book? Is it kept as a showcase in that library? Therefore, in such critical situation, we should have to concentrate on how to develop the subject reference library, how to develop the selective dissemination which is necessary to each and every users, which is necessary to each and every research scholars, which is necessary to each and every faculty members. And for that purpose, that mode is more important. If you see the second mode, can we apply? Because we, the library professionals, are live in hybrid mode, because we are having a print resources as per as online resources or the digital resources. Because we are having print books, we are having print journals, we are having print reports, we are having plenty of information which is made available in print format. Simultaneously, we are having CDs, DVDs, we are having the e-resources, it may be e-books, e-journals, we are having the lot of databases, or it may be a open source, or it may be a commercial base. In such situation, we should have to concentrate on how to develop the institutional repository of each and every content, which is developed by our faculty members and the research scholars. Because with the help of such type of institutional repositories, it may be an institutional repository of question paper, institutional repositories of a publication, it may be a book, it may be a research papers, institutional, it may be a keynote repositories. In institutional repository, it may be a pamphlet repositories, brochures repositories, whatever it may be, all types of functions, all types of works done within that institutions. Such a type of all digital content we should have to preserve, and we should have to develop a very proper and very effective institutional repository, and which will be helpful for giving a proper access to all stakeholders. Then another thing is how we'll start the online OPAC systems. How we'll start the just earlier speaker said, especially for remote access tools. Nowadays, millions and billions of information is made available online. And for that purpose, if any institutions having dozens of databases, how we can browse a specific information which we desire. For that purpose, can we apply the strategy from search to discover? Can we apply the variety of discovery tools? And there are variety of discovery tools are made available. It may be IPSCO discovery services, or a lot of tools are there, but the problem is a fund. Due to lack of funds, it is also highly impossible to each and every institutions to subscribe such a type of discovery tools also. But for that purpose, if we arrange, if we collect a very proper information, and if we disseminate to all that users, I think that means if we maintain the hybrid library model in India as such, this is the second model. However, if you see the in third model, only online only models. That means we should have to concentrate on in online model also, what is the actual requirement of our stakeholders. We should have to collect all these requirements, especially for how we provide the library services to a massive services. How we should have to provide individual library services to each and everyone. How we should have to customize our reference services, and how we will connect to each and every users, especially for access of library. That means here also we divert from search to discovery strategy in online model also. And each and every digital content requirement list is necessary to provide to each and everyone. For that purpose, we should have to invest a lot of money in technology, especially for subscribing a quality scholarly resources, subscribing a variety of databases, applying a variety of tools and techniques in the field of IT. And in such situation, if any institutions doesn't have any uh, funds, definitely we should have to think about the which type of strategy we should have to apply. For example, just our friend Jenge has said, because their library is also applied in-paid system, which is developed by the InflipNet. Then which type of tools and techniques which is developed by the InflipNet, especially for teaching and learning skill, such a type of, which is a free of cost, especially for remote access tools. That type of tools, we should have to concentrate on all that tools, and we all the university library professionals should have to focus on that too. And for that purpose, especially for knowledge creation and incubation centers, it is necessary to focus on such type of tools and techniques. As and when we apply these such a type of tools, we should have to consider the public places with latest technologies, and how make it and how it will be searchable to each and everyone. And for that purpose, each and every university library professionals should have to focus on these issues. Just our Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University Library is also providing the remote access to all stakeholders. It may be for researchers, it may be for students and the faculty members. Not only this, we are also providing the remote access to affiliated colleges also. And for that purpose, anybody can access the resources which is compiled or which is subscribed by our library. And if you visit to the bamboo.ac.in/KRC library, then we will see the lot of links, especially for open access resources and commercial access resources. And for that purpose, we have provided the links of open source literature, especially on Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar. That means how many ebooks, how many e-journals, how many essays, how many films, how many reviews, how many audiobooks, how many speeches, how many books, how many edited books written by Dr. Babasaheb and Aun Babasaheb Ambedkar. Such a type of online literature which is made available as an open access, we have compiled systematically and available to all stakeholders on our website. Like that, the online literature on Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, online literature on Gautam Buddha, online literature on Annabhau Sate, online literature on Lokmanya Tilak. Like that, such a type of variety of 7 personalities, like literatures, which is made available as an open source, we have compiled systematically, and we have given the link of each and every one. Not only this, we have compiled the all dictionaries, which is made available as an open source, and given the link of each and every dictionaries. We have compiled the all online literature, especially on encyclopedias. we have compiled the online literatures, especially which will be helpful to all competitive students, those who are pursuing the competitive exams. It may be a UPSC or MPSC or SET, NET, like that. All online literatures which you have compiled systematically and given the access to all stakeholders. And for that purpose, we have provided the independent link of research, especially for research scholars. And with the help of that link of research, we have given the dozens and dozens of thesis databases which is made available as an open source. It may be a Shodhanga, it may be a OATD, it may be a NDLTD, it may be a LSC, like that. Dozens of thesis database which is made available as an open access. All the links of that databases given on that under the link of research. The second thing is, what is the research system or what is the PhD systems of our university? What is the rules and regulation about the research? Such a type of rules and regulation which we have given and anybody can access. Not only this, regarding the plagiarism policy, regarding the UGC policies, especially for how to maintain the quality research. Such a type of facilities which we have given. Not only this, we have given some videos, especially for how to apply the EndNote software, how to apply the variety of reference management tools, especially for researchers. What is the style manual, which is developed by our KRC library, and which format is being accepted by the research scholars. Such a type of rules and regulation which will be helpful to each and every research scholars. This facility is given under the research caption. That means under e-resources, we have given the lot of links. It may be a commercial or the open source, or it may be with the help of Shindu. That means such a type of facilities is made available. And my question is, how we can emphasize on the effective library services in post-COVID situation? Because just earlier speaker said regarding the sanitizations, regarding the cleanliness, regarding the how we can survive the university library systems in India in post-COVID libraries. And that therefore with the library professions should have to apply the rules, regulations, which is designed by our university, which is designed by the government, which will help, especially IPLA's guidelines and the American Library Association's guidelines is also useful to all university library professionals, which will be helpful to apply the especially for libraries in post-COVID sections. For that purpose, hope you library professionals will apply. And I also appreciate to the earlier speakers, IIT BITS Pilani, because such a type of very experimental comments which given by the earlier speaker, which really it is appreciable. I thanks once again Dr. Suresh Jangeji for giving me opportunity to share my views in front of you. Thank you, Jangeji.
Thank you, Dr. Veer sir, for your very optimistic note. And in fact, you have provided a new dimension to the library system with your innovative services and practices that you are carrying out in your library. And I'm sure that your innovation will definitely help our librarians of this region to imbibe a better sense of librarianship. So I thank you very much once again. So now I make a move to the last and a very important invited speaker, Dr. Mallikarjun Angadi, the librarian from National Institute of Technology, Surathkal. Dr. Mallikarjun Angadi is a proud alumni of our Gulbarga University and my junior and my friend also. And he did his master degree and PhD from Gulbarga University and he is a NCSI candidate, and he has served earlier at Tata Institute of Social Science, Mumbai, and also served at ISER, Bhopal as a deputy librarian. In fact, he was very much instrumental in adopting a master degree and postgraduate diploma in library science at TISS today. And he's more of a practical man rather than a theoretical personality. And just to say that he is one of the highly cited author as per the Google Scholar citation, which has been revealed very recently in one of the article published in 2020. And he has received two major very popular fellowship. One is a IVR fellowship at USA, and also a Commonwealth professional fellowship from London. He has published more than 75 research articles at national and international report, and he is also a recipient of Sakpal Best Librarian Award. So now I request Dr. Mallikarjun Angadi to deliver your invited talk, please.
Thank you, Suresh. I hope I am audible.
Yes, yes, yes.
I'm sharing my PPT. Let me know whether it is visible now.
Yeah.
Is it okay? Is it visible now?
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, Mal, right, fine.
Thank you, Dr. Suresh. Dear friends, it's a privilege for me to be part of this national webinar on impact of COVID-19 on university libraries. KARNATAKA University Librarians Association and Gulbarga University, Kalaburgi. So what I'm going to do is, in the last 2.5 months, what NITK library has done BITS Pilani Library has done, but certainly we initiated some new services in the library, which we worked during this lockdown period, which I want to share with you all people. One of the important aspect of NITK library is that we subscribe a very large number of online databases and electronic resources, and we spend crores of rupees on these resources. So it is necessary that we should make all the facilities so that these resources are best used by our faculties and research scholars. We initiated few services through which we have promoted the maximum use of these e-resources. And as I said, so we also initiated some new services during this lockdown period, which I want to share with you all. And though it is not as exhaustive as BITS Pilani Library for post-lockdown preparation, but we do have planned a few things in the library when we reopen for the students. I always would like to quote this quote from Mr. Michael Stephens, which says that technology and libraries in the 21st centuries are wedded, and this marriage is a long-lasting one. And the library that recognizes how technology can improve services for its community is definitely destined for the success. So, however, no matter what technologies or services you go with, remember to plan with your user services in mind. That is what we have done when we initiated these services in the library during this lockdown period. So all these services are they are focused based on the users in mind. So we all know that libraries are changing, and earlier we used to measure the libraries in terms of the print collections, but now it is not the metrics. We are now measuring the libraries, how many e-books they are having, and how many electronic journals and online databases they are subscribing. And now we are talking about information professionals rather than library professionals. And we are having a content development policy now rather than the collection development. And we have new generation of library users who are tech savvy, web savvy, and they use extensively all these Web2 applications. And of course, because of this COVID-19 pandemic, there will be definitely some paradigm shifts in the libraries, the way we operate, the way we provide services in the library. So libraries are, okay, they have changed and they are continue to be changed. So let us see what is the changed library is all about. Whether it is the physical library, one in NITK, we recently inaugurated a new building next to the old building. Whether it is a change in terms of the collection or in terms of the space that is provided in the library or in terms of the services we are entering in the libraries. So in fact, it is all of these things and much more than that. So we are talking about access rather than the holding policy now, and access to all the human knowledge, okay, anywhere, anytime, and anyone. So there are new technologies, and of course, because of these new technologies, we have new opportunities for the librarians, and definitely there will be new disruptions in the while rendering these new services. So there are new tools and resources like e-books, e-journals, discovery services, okay, and there are new ways to communicate, engage with our users. So we'll be using our internet facilities, instant messaging, social media, podcasts, videos, something like that. And there are new ways to promote, share, and create collections. The libraries are also serving as part of content developer now. So we are having digital libraries, institutional repositories, wikis, and virtual library environments. So some of the e-resources at we are stabbing at NITK Suratkal libraries, and we are spending almost 3 crores for these online resources every year. And some of the databases which are getting as part of eSources Sindhu consortium member, around 12 databases we are having. So, and we also purchased ebook collections like ebooks, Springer Links around 6,800, IEEE around 717. So in all, around 9,600 ebooks are available for the students and faculties to access. And we do have our in-house digital library resource collections where we have hosted on DSpace open source softwares. We have thesis and dissertations, faculty project reports, faculty publications, of course, annual reports, and we also have a separate collection on NITK at media, and we have a journal called Waves, which is again hosted on this institutional digital repository. So the way, how to promote these, the use of these resources is a big question for us. Always, every year, the management asks, the usage of these resources before renewal of these online databases and e-journals. So for that, we have, we have an exclusive e-library complex, which was inaugurated recently to provide these digital library services. So where we have 2 cyber libraries with 50 computers for BTech, MTech, and PhD scholars. And we have a training lab, about 50 computers are available in this training lab where we can conduct the workshops and similar kind of things. So we have well-equipped 2 seminar halls with 50 seat capacities in this e-library complex. So all the floors in the libraries are Wi-Fi enabled so that anybody can access from their laptop or tab or from their mobile. And we have 1 Gbps internet bandwidth connectivity under National Knowledge Network. And there are 6 discussion rooms, something which is very useful for our research scholars to discuss their research project. This is just a graphical representation of our cyber library for BTech and MTech students, which is under now, it's in the progress. And there is a separate section for the PhD scholars. Yeah, now I would like to share some of the efforts the Central Library of NITK initiated during this lockdown period. In fact, we wanted to have these services much before that, but because of time constraints, we were not able to initiate. And lockdown is something blessing in disguise for us to work on these projects and to initiate these projects and make it available for our students and faculties. The first and foremost, what we have done is we wanted to develop our the collection in terms of ebooks and the e-journals. So we approached a few publishers to provide trial access to some of these engineering databases, like trial access to CVS ebooks of engineering collection, then free access to Elsevier textbooks. Then Cambridge University came forward to provide free access to reference works and academic titles. And Press Reader, which is world's largest online newspaper and magazine, so we initiated a trial access for this. And of course, the free access to scholarly journals, ebooks, academic videos, and dissertations and thesis. In fact, BITS Pilani, we didn't also had remote access to our e-resources. We initiated a trial access to one of the commercial, of course, but we, as Professor Jurel suggested, that INFED is freely available to all the institution research universities in India. So we should also explore INFED, and we are going to contact INFED in this regard very soon. And the other important project we carried out in the last 2.5 months is revamping our library website. We do have our library website, but it was not up to the mark of the National Institute. So we thought, so we redesigned our library website, and it was in-housely developed, and it was hosted using the content management system Joomla. So I'll be sharing the snapshots of those website, and I will also show you live. Another important work we have done during this lockdown period was uploading around 7,000 records, mainly the NITK publications, to our institution digital repository DSpace using a SAF Builder tool. SAF Builder tools is a small application software available in Linux, through which you can upload the records in bulk, like how you upload MARC records in Koha. So there is a tool, SAF Builder, through which you can upload metadata or even the full text records to DSpace, because adding 7,000 plus records manually takes, it's a time consuming, it takes a few months to do that. So we were trying to find out a way how we can do it at one. So
something wrong with Mallikarjun Angadi's presentation. Mallikarjun, are you available online?
Sir left हो चुके हैं.
अच्छा, there must be some issue.
Yes.
Okay, I think we have only 15 minutes of time. Mallikarjun, can you continue? Yeah, now he has come, he will continue.
okay.
Continue.
Yeah. We also started the full physical stock verification for books from last week. This is a time because we didn't had the physical stock verification of our books for quite some time. So we thought this is the right time, since students are not there. So we thought this is an opportunity for us. So this is our the library website, the homepage of the new library website. We try to focus all these the sections keeping in the users in mind, okay, whether it is a new latest announcements or the section where library catalog search or the searching the journal databases or journals or the institution repositories. And in the middle, you can see we have a dedicated section for the research scholars, research support, where we have highlighted the facilities like plagiarism check, Grammarly, article request, okay, and some of the writing and citation tools available for the research scholars and some tutorials. And for people who wants to have a quick access to some of the databases, they can directly access from this online database section. And we have quick links to some of the critical services, okay, from the library. And of course, the links to all the ebooks collection. So two of the important the facilities which we are highlighting on our website is the faculty publication, books published by our faculty members, and the recent articles published by our faculties. Actually, this is actually fetched from the Scopus. Recent articles are fetched from the Scopus, and they are displayed on this. Okay. And at the bottom, you have some statistic about our library collection. So another important feature we included in the library website is this one, the live chat, where this live chat will be available from during the library hours, say for example morning 9 to evening 6 o'clock, where research scholars or students can directly interact with the library staff, and if there are any queries, okay, they can get it solved. So this is the website. Okay, I want to show you the live website a bit later, because I have to skip the application from presentation to live. So this is our library OPAC. We are using software for library management. So one of the important feature of this platform is new arrivals. So the moment the book is cataloged in the library, so it will reflect on the website. So there is no time lag here. So automatically it will be made available on the OPAC platform. So as I told you, so we have cataloged around 9,600 catalog records for our ebooks, which are available on our Koha platform. So anybody wants to access this, the ebook collection, they can search this OPAC, and there is a link to directly to the publisher. So if they click this online access, so automatically it will go to the publisher site, and then they can access the full text. So similarly, we have indexed, or we have cataloged all the electronic journals. We have around 150 electronic journals, which are in individual journals. So those are indexed in the this OPAC, so they can be accessed to this journal through this OPAC. So as I told you, one of the important work we have done was we have uploaded around 6,997 the publications to our institution repositories. That is the institutional digital repositories. So what we have done is we have used batch import facility in DSpace using this SAF builder. Okay, that is a simple archive format builder tool which is available. So one can use this tool to upload multiple records to the DSpace. So what is required is you're supposed to have these minimum prerequisites, like you should have an terminal application, you should install Java JDK, you should install JIT and the Maven, okay, and you can install the SAF builder package, which is available freely. And then the next step is you have to create an CSV file and add metadata to create a batch file, and later using this SAF builder, it will create a zip file which you can directly import it into the DSpace. So these are the steps involved in uploading the records to DSpace. The only limitation is that you cannot upload more than 1,000 records at a time. So that's the limitation. And to import these records, so you're supposed to use the XMLOI interface of DSpace, not the Java interface. So that is another important feature. So what we have done while uploading these publications records to DSpace is that we have downloaded records from Scopus and Web of Science in Excel, around 7,000 records. Okay, and then we have removed the duplicate records from the Excel. So if you know Excel, you can do that very easily. and then we used okay, SAP Builder application. So 1,000 records at a time. So we uploaded to DSpace. And there are some okay issues when you upload to multiple records to the DSpace from Scopus and Web of Science is that you get there are multiple author entries in Scopus and Web of Science. In fact,
simple experience.
In fact, our faculty came to know that when we launched this service, so they came to know that okay, there are multiple profiles okay in Scopus and Web of Science. Say for example, I will show you when we checked our database. Say for example, one of our professor Yargatti Uday Kumar. So it was okay. It was made available in 2 places. I mean, this was how it was in Scopus and Web of Science. In some records, it is Yargatti Uday Kumar, and in some record, it is Uday Kumar Yargatti. So this was we were able to identify only when we uploaded these records to Web of Science or in DSpace. So we told our faculties to see that okay, they make only one author profile in these Web of Science or Scopus databases. So now they are correcting their records in Scopus and Web of Science. So what we are doing is we are contacting all our, since we have only 200 plus faculties, so we are requesting them to cross-check with these records, okay, whether the records are spread. So say for example, this Yargatti, okay, Uday Kumar and Uday Kumar Y. So they are the author is only one. So there are around 33 here and another 51 records. So the total there are 84 publications in his name, but they are spread at 2 places. So we are requesting faculties to identify the different multiple entries so that we will merge them into one. So that work, in fact, this took a lot of time from the library to identify these multiple entries and coordinate with the faculties and then merge these records into one. Yeah, other important okay, the services which we initiated okay from libraries IRNS of InfluBNet, that is Indian Research Information Network System, which is again the product of InfluBNet services. So InfluBNet has okay created a separate instance for us, and we corrected our data, and then so it is made available for all the faculties. So you can see the faculty profiles, their author collaborators, the citation, H index, and all. So this is very useful platform for all our faculty and scholars, where they can see the collaborators of their research, different subject domains, and all. Yeah, with regard to post-lockdown preparation from our library, we have planned to okay initiate a closed access to lending books. It means we are not allowing students directly to get access to the racks. So there will be some sort of okay closed access to these lending books. And another important feature we explored recently was that, I don't know whether many people are aware of it, in Koha 3.18 version and above, so there is a new feature called self-check-in. So that the students themselves can okay do the self-check-in of these books, and we have integrated an email server. So once they check in the books automatically, and they will get an okay email acknowledgement. I will show you those steps. And other important the planning what we have after a post lockdown period is one of our professor Arun Islu from Department of Chemistry. He developed a disinfection chamber called Zero COVID, something like that. So he is going to provide one for the library, where we are going to keep these return books to disinfect these return books. So it takes around 15 minutes to disinfect these books, and at one go we can disinfect around 200 to 300 books. But only thing is that, so we need to see what will be the condition of the books after exposing them to these highly the ultraviolet rays and all. So that we need to check with the professor and then to see whether it is a good a solution to disinfect these books, return books. So as I told you, to self check-in in Koha, this is something, okay, the students can log into their account and then, okay, they can add add their barcode, the books which they want to return. Say, for example, I have added here 3 books, and then they can click this check-in, okay. Automatically, these 3 books will be checked in, and the student will receive an acknowledgement for this. Something like this, they get there in their email. This is what I wanted to share with you all. I hope this was not as exhaustive as BITS Pilani Library, the preparation, but a few things we wanted to share with you. And I thank the Dr. Suresh Jange and the team of KULA, Karnataka University Library Association, for giving me an opportunity to share few things which what we have done during this lockdown period. Thank you, one and all. Dr. Suresh Jange.
Thank you, Dr. Mallikarjuna Angadi, the librarian from NIT. It was more of a live experience and live demonstration. Especially, we are very much impressed with the DSpace customization and importing the records from the citation databases into the DSpace. And the app which you have developed is probably that will help our librarians in this region, and your technical help will definitely be utilized by the librarians of Karnataka and other parts of India. Thank you very much, Dr. Mallikarjuna Angadi. Now,
Thank you.
I request our Secretary of Karnataka University Library Association, Dr. Radha Krishna ji, to give his presidential remarks.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon to all the participants who are participated through Zoom and YouTube. I'm audible?
Yes.
Is it okay?
Sir. Start.
Thank you, sir. So thank you one and all the participants through Zoom and YouTube participants, and the invited speakers, Dr. Giridhar Kunkur, Librarian and Chief Publications and Media Relations BITS Pilani, and Dr. D.K. Dharmavir, Director KRC, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, Marathwada University, Aurangabad, and now the Dr. Mallikarjuna Angadi, Librarian, National Institute of Technology, Surathkal, and the keynote speaker, Professor J.P. Singh, Director, InflipNet Center, Ahmedabad. He had given a thought-provoking keynote address to all the LIS fraternity of India, and how we are using the InflipNet resources, interacting with the InflipNet and the institutions and the universities and around the India. And the beautifully Giridhar Kunkur analyzed his library services in the COVID-19 situations, how he has practiced and utilized his resources and services to all the fraternity and students. So thank you for all his beautifully narrated, given his beautiful talk to the LIS fraternity, and Dharamveer and Mallikarjuna Angadi, and this Karnataka University Libraries Association established to protect the protect and safeguard, improve the skills of library fraternity, covering universities in Karnataka state by developing quality manuals, guidelines, and organizing workshops, and to meet the LIS fraternity. We have in Karnataka 28 state universities and 19 private universities and 11 deemed universities, central institutions, and other statutory institution in the state. So Karnataka University Association protect all the library professionals in the state, their welfare issues, and other the academic issues. So we are in the state. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Chinge. And we are conducting a webinar for the first time in the state. Whatever the technical team and our office under the able leadership of Dr. Suresh Chinge, we have conducted this webinar series for the LAS fraternity in the state as well as in the country. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Radhakrishna ji, the librarian and the secretary of Kula. Now I invite Dr. Parshuram Kattimani, the librarian from Central University of Karnataka, to propose the vote of thanks. P.S. Kattimani?
Kattimani sir नहीं
Huh?
Kattimani sir नहीं
I think he is there, but
sir.
Wait. Okay. Anyhow, Dr. P.S. Kattimani? No. Anyhow, we have. Is it there?
नहीं sir.
No. Okay. I will propose it. नहीं है इल्ला. देखिए इल्ला. We have come to the fag end of this national webinar. So before I conclude, I acknowledge with a high sense of gratitude to all the invited personalities and resource persons and the keynote addressee Dr. Professor J.P. Singh Jorel and the invited speakers, Mr. Kunkur ji, Dr. D.K. Weir, Mallikarjun Angadi, and all the office bearers of Kula and esteemed members of our Gulbarga University and all the delegates who have been very active in this participation. So finally, I thank once again for your active participation and look forward for the development of a librarianship in Karnataka and also in India in this corona environment. Thank you one and all.
Thank you very much.
Sir, feedback एक दिन.
Yeah, we'll send a feedback and also certificate to all the delegates. So we are sending the feedback form. Kindly fill the duly filled form, and also we'll send the certificates very shortly to all of you. Thank you. So we are closing now. We are closing now. Thank you.
Thank you, Suresh.
Okay, sir. Bye, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, one and all, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for.
Right, Dr. Veer, sir, thank you. Giridhar, sir, thank you. Rahul ji,
Thank you, sir.
And Rahul ji, very grateful to you. And Taksale, they're all very helpful, Dr. Rahul and Chetan Taksale, really, you made this program happen. Otherwise, this was just impossible. So my due respect and thanks to you and all the participants and my invited resource persons and the keynote address. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you, sir.